Hello? There we have it. Okay, so this is I believe the next time I see you, you'll be able to play with this a little bit, and then we're going to have actually a day devoted to playing with this. Have you guys seen them pushing the carts down the hall? Yeah, okay. Let me explain the rules and the objectives, just to give you some idea so you guys can sort of plan. One of the things you can do is like do espionage, talk to the kids that took physics last year and ask them what worked, for this. But here's the goal. This is the front cart, and your goal is to get this cart with a rider on it as far as possible from the start line before any one of its wheels stops. Yeah? Rolling backwards, by the way, you can't roll backwards without stopping. Isn't that correct? Yeah, there we have it, right? So as soon as one wheel rolls backwards, why we say that's just as far as it goes. So sometimes the driver likes to, kind of hunch the car along. Well, as soon as the wheel stops, then we say that's as far as it goes, even if it continues to move down the hall. Okay? Now, the rule is that the only thing you can use to push it is other carts that are free to roll backwards. You can't push off the school. In other words, you can't just put it on the ground and kick like a skateboard, yeah? You can't run on the school and jump on it. You can't push off a back cart where there's somebody on that cart with their foot on the ground, yeah? Yeah? Well, you can't, as you're diving from the cart, people do this, like somebody will dive from the cart. This is like the most spectacular thing, right? As you dive from that cart, you can't do this. You can't go onto the ground and then push with your feet on the cart. People like to do that. But you can't do that because you're pushing on the ground and the cart at the same time, right? You can dive off the cart and land on the ground. There's no rule that you can't touch the ground, right? But you just can't push off of both at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Right? So you just got to be careful. Sometimes, like the team, and by the way, the record is from the library. There's a line, the same starting line everybody uses, right? They've gone into the freshman hall and up the ramp a little bit, like 30 centimeters up the ramp. Okay, this was a team with two enormous football player types, right? And then we had, you guys know Greg Winterroad? Yeah, some people know Greg. He still works around the district, but he was this tall guy, and then there was another guy about just like that tall, and they did this thing where they were pushing off each other, and they would fall like this on the ground, and they were like black and blue after this. If you have like knee pads and stuff, or shouldn't be landing on the ground, don't do it, But if you got like knee pads and stuff, bring them, because like skateboarding stuff, so you can just land on the ground and not hurt yourself. But they were pushing like this, right? And there were two guys in the back pushing in parallel, just straightening out their bodies. And then we had just an insane diver diving off of it. And they made it up into the hall and up that ramp just a little bit. If you get into the commons, there's no shame. If you don't get to the commons, there's shame. Okay? Yeah, if you get into the commons, even like to where the little wolf is on the floor, that's pretty good. If you get up to those doors, you're doing really good. Through the doors, that's excellent. We don't do that every year, get through the doors. This was a team that had 2 days to do it because the reporter was supposed to come from the newspaper and take pictures a day, but they didn't come, right? They came the next day, right? And it was like, oh, well, we could do it again for you, right? So this team that was already pretty good had a chance to just do it all day long with the photographer watching them too. But anyway, basically, if curling is an Olympic sport, this should definitely be an Olympic sport, right? I'm picturing like rollerblade type wheels, carbon fiber bodies for these things. You have to have like minimum and maximum masses for carts, wouldn't you? Right? But it's a very cool thing. Practicing and timing is very, very important. And the other clue I will give you is just be conscious of safety. Don't put your fingers between these carts if there's a chance that they're going to ram together, right? By the way, good teams don't ram the carts together. They don't even get close to each other. Don't have everybody stand. Obviously, you need to put a lot of mass on the back carts, just like the rocket, right? There's a lot of mass down there that gets pushed out, right? Okay. You want to put a lot of mass on the back carts and not so much on the front, I'm thinking, right? Don't have people just stand on the back cart like this, because what's going to happen if you push really hard on the cart they're standing on? Do they fall painfully to the floor? Yes, they do. Okay. I'll just tell you that, right? I have seen 19 people on one of these carts. Before we made rules that we couldn't have that many people because people were getting hurt, okay? I saw 19 people. A class got 19 people. Here's what they did. People sat on the bottom, toboggan style. Are you picturing this? Legs over the people in front of them? Yeah? Like sardines, right on the bottom, right? Okay. Then, obviously, a layer of people can sit on their laps. Are you picturing that? Yes. Then people stood on either side. There's a little bit of it right there where you can put your toes on. Are you picturing that? They're standing with just their toes on. That's unstable. You'll fall backwards, so you reach across, you grab somebody. Yeah? You hunch down. Are you picturing this? Yes? You're now hanging on to the people below and to the person across from you. Are you picturing that? Then people are on top of them. Yes. Here we go, right? Okay. It was about then that, anyway. We haven't had too many serious injuries. Last year we had some stitches because somebody fell and hit their chin on the ground. Right. It's always bad if you fall on smooth ground and cut your chin, because this stuff won't cut your chin. What's cutting it is the bone, and your chin is going through your skin, right? It's one of those. That's one of these. Do you see the scar? That's ice. Ice did that to me. I got cut on the ice. Ice doesn't cut you. Your bone goes through your skin. That's that. So, hang on to the cart. Here's even more clues. It's better to push for a long time with a little bit less force than to push like leg press the carts. Leg pressing is rarely a very good idea. It just makes people fall down. Okay, so it's better for people to like push with their bodies between the carts. Okay, you don't even have to put anybody on a cart if it doesn't make sense to put somebody on a cart. It doesn't have to be somebody sitting like on the middle cart. Like the good teams don't have anybody on the middle cart. They're just people pushing off of it. Yeah, it's kind of a crazy thing. And then here's another thing. Your driver and the person that dives off that front cart, okay, they need to communicate. If the person dives off and the driver's not paying attention, they'll just push that cart right out from under them. And they'll be sliding on their little butt down the hall, right? It's kind of surprising, right? They need to communicate. And in fact, I was watching the team that won, okay, and what happened was the guy that was diving off, the driver, they would communicate. They go 1, 2, 3. And then the driver, I saw her going boom like this to push the cart backwards, right? At the same time the person was diving. And she'd send him flying off that cart. So it was his dive plus her doing that, right? It was like, holy cow, right? They had a lot of time to practice this, right? So it's timing. You need to talk. You can have somebody, by the way, if whatever it is like very hard for you to hold still, somebody can sit there and hold their foot on the front cart to keep it behind the line. And then you go 1, 2, 3, go. They get out of the way. It starts to expand. Off it goes, kind of a thing, right? So think about it. Do espionage. Ask people what's the best thing to do. And I think our schedule is that we. What do we do? Our schedule is that apparently I don't even have your syllabus. How do I not even have your syllabus right here? Our schedule is that we. Here it is. Here's what we're doing. Okay. Next time I see you, we're actually going to spend the whole time doing that. Yeah. We have 10 minutes left, so don't put your stuff away. We're going to do another problem.